Old boomer Republicans are at it again, but this time they're trying to make divorce illegal, and I don't know why more people aren't talking about it, because this is very worrying. So we all remember a little while back when Roe v. Wade was overturned, right? And Republicans disguised it as a scare tactic like abortion bill. Well, unfortunately, it was actually so much more than that. Roe v. Wade essentially protected our right to privacy, which covers way more than just pregnancy. Because really, the right to privacy protected so many things like trans, LGBT, women. And when that was overturned, we knew that everything else was now up on the chopping board for attack, and what Republicans have decided to own in on right now is the right to a divorce. So what's happening right now is Republican representatives in states like Texas, Louisiana, etc. are trying to fight and get overturned the no-fault divorce rules. And what are the no-fault divorce rules? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Way back in the day, when women were treated as property, like they're trying to do now, a woman had to present a reason why she wanted to be divorced, and she had to back that up in a court of law. It was actually hard to get a divorce. If you wanted to leave your marriage because you were unhappy, you couldn't do that. You had to prove why you were unsafe or why you couldn't stay in that marriage anymore, and obviously this put a lot of women in danger. Because obviously all that stuff, as we know, is really hard to prove. So the creation of the no-fault divorce just meant that either party could safely leave the marriage if they just decided they didn't want to be married anymore, which is a valid reason to not want to be married anymore. I'm sorry, Braden, if I don't want to be married to you anymore, you can't just chain me to a chair in the basement and keep me there. I'm a person, not an object. You can't just force me to stay with you, okay? And a lot of the Republicans speaking up and supporting this are like, well, my wife just decided she was unhappy one day and left, and I didn't even get a say in it. Buddy, I promise you probably had plenty of says in it, okay? Would it have killed you to remember an anniversary or Cheryl's birthday even once? No, okay? And you can't just force her to stay with you. And yes, I'm bringing this conversation up again in 2024 because these states are literally still going at it trying to fight for this. And it's now more relevant than ever because guess who was originally super vocal? One of the people behind trying to make divorce way more difficult, who has now worked his way up in the ranks and been super transparent about supporting all of this. In not only all of his speeches, but yeah, take a crazy guess where else all of this is still written that we can now, a year later, easily access and see what's been going on behind the scenes this whole time. Unfortunately, we know that the GOP does not see women as people, but they're just trying to revoke our rights slowly, one by one, until we just become property to them again. And I don't think I need to elaborate further on how concerning that is and how worried I am that no one is talking about what's happening right now. And what absolutely amazes me the most is that boomers will pull stuff like this and then sit around and wonder why Gen Z is fighting back and deciding not to get married and settle down anymore. Disrespectfully, it sounds awful. No one wants to be married to you for the rest of forever, Stan, and pumping out your kids like a prized cattle at the state fair.